Is there such a thing as sex addiction? Is it even real? Let's talk about it. I've treated sex addiction for a long time, and I've often wondered, is the sex part, the acting out part, the problem? Or is the shame about someone's sexuality the actual problem? Is sex addiction even real? Well, I can give you a definitive answer. I can tell you whether sex addiction is real or not. But the answer might be a little bit trickier than what you may think. So you're gonna wanna watch this entire video. There's a big debate on both sides of the coin. There's a large cohort of people that say even calling sex an addiction is problematic because it causes shame inside of people. We're all sexual beings. We all have sexual feelings. And if every time you have a sexual feeling, you're wondering if you're an addict, that's a problem. So don't call it an addiction. You religious zealots, you high moral ground people, you're causing problems because you're making sex out to be a bad thing. That's one side of the coin. And they have a good point in that we are all sexual beings and we all have sexual feelings. And just because we have those feelings doesn't mean that we have an addiction. Those that believe in sex addiction say, look, sex is a natural thing, it's a normal thing, but it can get out of control. It can start to take somebody's life over. They can get caught up in lust and spend massive amounts of time and energy and money on their addiction. And because of that, their life becomes unmanageable, just like any other addiction. Is sex addiction a real thing? I know that it is, but sometimes people are called addicts when they're not actually addicted. It's really interesting. I run groups, sex addiction groups, and I've worked with many clients. And I'll get the clients come in who are highly religious, very anxious about their sexuality. And because they are married, but they noticed a woman at a grocery store, or they took a double take, they feel like they can't turn off their sexuality, therefore they must be addicted to sex. And they don't have any other indicators. They're not spending massive amounts of time or money, but they think that they must be addicted to sex. So they want to join my sex addiction group. Now, the other guy that wants to join the group, he's married, he's sleeping with prostitutes, going to strip clubs, looking at pornography constantly. He has compulsive behaviors and he's pushing limits all the time. These two guys are in much different camps. Now, is this guy addicted to sex just because he's a highly religious, anxious person about sexuality? No, he's not addicted to sex. This guy over here who can't stop, who wants to stop but continues to do these behaviors that hurt him and hurt his wife, he is addicted to sex. If you want more information about sex addiction and recovery, then go listen to my podcast, my Therapy Bros podcast, where me and my brother talk about all kinds of topics about recovery, and also subscribe to my channel. So if anxiety about sex is not sex addiction, then is it even a real thing? Well, that depends on your definition of addiction. When you think about addiction, what is it? When I look at addiction, I look for several things. I look for rate and duration of use. Are you spending more and more time, more energy using this thing? Is tolerance building up? Are you pushing limits that you haven't pushed in the past? And the last thing I look for is compulsion. You're doing something that you don't want to do. You don't want the consequences of doing that thing, but you do it anyways. That's an indicator of addiction. And I see it happen all the time with sexual behaviors. With sex, I see unmanageability happen. Now, what I mean by that is someone's life gets out of control. They want to stop certain behaviors, but they keep doing them. They're doing illegal things. They're spending a lot of money. They're creating a lot of secrets in their relationships and destroying their families, but they continue to do it anyways. Their life has now become unmanageable. When we look at the criteria for diagnosing addiction in the DSM, a lot of that criteria can fit for sex. Tolerance builds up, rate and duration of use happens, numbing out happens, meaning numbing out emotions and numbing out your life, using sex to do that. So why wouldn't sex be an addiction, just like anything else? Being a sexual being does not make you an addict, but doing riskier and riskier behaviors and continuing with compulsive behaviors means that you might have an addiction. So yes, sex addiction is real, but it doesn't mean that everybody's addicted to sex. If you like this video on sex addiction and you're wondering if you have a sex addiction or not, you may want to check out my other video, How to Be a Better Man in a Relationship. If you're struggling with a sex addiction, then I can get you some help. So go to my website, therapyutah.org, or go to my podcast, The Betrayed, The Addicted, and The Expert, and you can find resources there.